Well, Alex, I want to talk about your entire rugby career, but let's just reflect on Tasman. You're a founder member of that franchise. You must have been extremely proud how far they've come in a short time.
I have. I was there back in 2006. I think there's still a couple of us going, possibly just me and Robbie Melnick still going from the 2006 team. I am actually, the last couple of years have been good. I'm not quite sure what it is. A few people have asked me that, but I think it's just a lot of local players coming through the region, players really buying into the whole Tasman concept, the way we play. That and old KK and Rangi really pull the boys in tight and run a good ship at the moment.
Yeah, because it's the progress of the time frame, because it's been a hard road for them, isn't it, up there?
It has been. I mean, there are a few years we're looking at being dropped down to second div, and looking at cutting the comp, and there's a few years we're battling just to stay in the competition. So the last couple of years have been enjoyable. It's, I wouldn't say sticking in the face of people, but it was good just to show that we deserve to be up there. Yeah.
And the great thing is you've brought a lot of your mates with you down here this time.
there is a good Tasman crew down here actually. Yeah, no, it's quite nice. But again, it's on the back of our Tasman team winning. I think when you start winning, the super teams start looking at you. I think it's paid off. Yeah.
Well, you've put in a lot of yards to get this far. Let's start at the very beginning. Schooling, where did you sort of first cut your teeth in rugby?
I was schooling up in Auckland, Rangitoto College.
Were you born there?
Yeah, I was. Yep, born on the shore. Not a huge rugby school, big school. Not a huge rugby school, but again, there's a lot of people who enjoy the rugby there. Kind of came through the grades.
Did you play any age group, schoolboy sort of rep rugby?
Only provincial stuff with North Harbour. I followed the provincial stuff up. Had the same coach guy, Chris Reed, who coached me the whole through from under 14s all through to schoolboys and 21s as well. And then kind of first year out of school I played Harbour 21s, and then actually took off overseas after that. Took off to Italy. Had 3 seasons over in Italy when I was quite young.
That was an unusual call so early in your career. What was the prompt to try Europe?
I was working for Glenn Rich, who'd played years in Auckland, and he'd spent some time in Italy. And just out of the blue, I'd had an offer from from Wales, I think. And it wasn't an offer. I think they were offering flights or something over, and then just something different. I was looking to spread my wings, looking a bit of an OE. And my boss Glenn Rich at the time said, "Look, I've spent some time in Italy. Do you want to go over there?" And but it was just on a trial basis, and I went over, and they liked my style of rugby, I guess, and I ended up staying for 3 years.
And speaking Italian at the end of it?
Yeah, reasonably well. The first 2 years of the team I was in, there was me and a South African boy, and he spoke fluent Italian, and apart from that was it. So I really, thrown in the deep end, had to learn.
And enjoy the lifestyle?
Definitely did. The food was great, great bunch of boys. I really enjoyed it. Yep.
What about the standard of rugby? What would you compare it to something in New Zealand, a level here?
Oh, it's a tough one. It's not quite up to ITM, but it would be, I'd imagine it'd be a step above ITM Bs or the second div, the Heartland stuff. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of foreigners. At the time I was playing there, I think you had to have, out of starting 23, I think you had 12 Italians in that. So most teams had 11 foreigners. So there's a lot of good foreign players there. So there's some good players. Again, the coaching probably let a lot of teams down, but it was good footy.
Were you a full-time professional, or did you have to do a little bit of work?
No, full-time professional, which was nice. I mean, I went over when I was 20, so as a 20-year-old, if you're a full-time professional rugby player, I was loving it, absolutely loving it.
After the 3 years was up, what was the decision you had to make?
I actually broke my leg in the third year. Just because I was just about to sign another 2-year deal over there, and broke my leg, and I thought, well, I'd actually done 2 years, basically 2 years worth of university. And I broke my leg, and I thought, well, it might be the perfect chance. So I came back and finished off a year at uni and finished my degree up in Auckland. Healed my leg. And I actually had a friend who I was playing with in Italy at the time, came back to play for Marlborough. And he gave me a ring from Dennis Brown, who was coaching Marlborough at the time, heard of me through my friend. And gave me the call up, and I went down to play Marlborough. Was that 2005?
All right, so Tasman from the next year, so the timing was great.
Again, Dennis Brown was coaching Marlborough, and then he went on to be the first Tasman coach for the first couple of years. And I followed him across to Nelson, and joined Tasman from there on.
What do you remember about that very first Tasman game? That was the first sort of top class game for you.
Yeah, it was 2006 North Harbour. I remember the whole lot actually. It was exciting times. There was a whole lot of new boys in there who hadn't played ITM Cup. A few of the older boys that brought in the mix. It was new for the region. It was new for the union. It was new for everyone. It was exciting times. It was great fun. Great fun actually.
I think I commentated on that game, and the buzz around town was something unique, wasn't it? Because it was. I think there was a bit of rivalry up there at one point, but I think they put that aside for that day.
Yeah, because it was the first game over in Blenheim, and I think with the whole Tasman joining, there was always a bit of niggle there. There was always people that weren't quite happy with the union. But yeah, the first game was over in Blenheim, and they did put on a spectacle. They had the motorbikes out beforehand, they had people singing, they had the cheerleaders, the whole lot. And I think it was a huge turnout, and we're close to winning it. It would have been nice for a win, but we're very close to beating them. It was a great game, great event actually.
Well, you stuck around for a few years, but then decided Japan. Was that because frustrating you weren't getting super opportunities? Is it something to do with it?
Not particularly, I don't think. I had, as you say, I had 4 years at Tasman, those first 4 years. It was just the opportunity that came up. I think I was 28 at the time, and Japan came knocking. The money was good. I talked to Kieran Kane at the time. He was coaching, and I said, look, this is the offer. I was open about it, and I said, look, this is the offer. And he said, look, he fully understood. He said, the money, you're 28, you're getting towards the end of your career, sort of thing you have to take. So I did. And went there for 3 years.
And how did you compare that with, say, your Italian experience? Did you enjoy it as much?
It was different. One, because I had kids, I think, this time. So it wasn't it wasn't so much of a party atmosphere, I guess. But a whole lot more professional as well. I think there's a whole lot more money in the Japan League, so they expect a lot more. The training's longer, the training's more intense. They expect more intensity, they expect more of to get more of you, really. Yeah. Yes.
What about the standard there? Was that of a similar, or was it slightly higher than the Italian?
I was playing second div for Mitsubishi. Again, it's a different type of footy. It's hard to compare it. I don't think it's quite up to ITM standard again, but I think that's just because of the size of the boys. Like it's a lot faster rugby. The rucks are a lot quicker. The play's a lot quicker. You have to be a lot fitter to play it. It's hard to compare. It's different style of rugby. Like, for example, I got there and I think I lost 6 kilos in the first 2 weeks I was in Japan, and I was worrying about it. Going the first game, I was 6 kilos down. I was like, oh, how's it going to handle? And had one of the boys who'd been there for 10 years, and he said, look, no worries. The locks, everybody's lighter in it. You don't need the weight. And I still didn't believe him. But the first game, I was fine. I was down 6 kilos and I handled no worries actually. Probably played better without having the weight.
So what are you most fluent in, Italian or Japanese or English?
Yeah. I'd hope English, but I'm Italian, I think. No, definitely Italian. Japanese was a hard language, very hard. I gave it my best go, but saying that, I had the translator for our Japanese team was actually a good friend of mine. So wherever we tended to go, we had this guy with us, and he just fit into that role, I think. So you didn't have to learn it as much. Learned enough to get by, and you could go out and talk to people here and there, but definitely not fluent in it.
So when it came time to come home, any hesitation about going back to Tasman?
No, I was actually happy they wanted me back. As I said, I had 3 years in Japan. My wife, I had 2 kids at the time. They were happy. They were more than keen to actually get back to New Zealand. I rang Kieran Kane. I said, look, I'm coming back. Do you need locks? I'm more than keen to play. I'm still fit and ready. And it just worked out that he was looking for a lock, so he signed me up, and 1 year deal, and he's happy with what he saw, so I got another, I guess. At my age, I think just take each year as it comes.
So, with respect to your age, I'm surprised you about the Super Court of at this stage, for a full-time contract.
I was very surprised, yeah. Tell you the truth, when Jamie rang me, I thought it was one of the boys in the team taking the piss and ring up for a laugh, but it sounded like Jamie on the phone, so I thought I'd hear him out. I was a bit surprised, more than surprised, but. Very, very happy with it actually. Enjoying the rugby, enjoying the boys, enjoying the step up. Yeah.
The physical requirements, obviously, you need to put that 6 kg back on. I'm sure you have since then.
Yeah. Well, they went on pretty quick as soon as I got back. Yeah, just for the Tasman alone, it got back on. But even down here, we've got Wendell training us, and he's put a few kilos on me now in the pre-season. I think I'm sitting fairly well for the season. Yeah.
So you brought your family down here, settled?
Yep. I've got my wife with 3 kids. They're actually really enjoying it. Great town. Great region.
Stinking hot.
Well, it is at the moment, yeah. Tell you what, the first week of November we came down, it wasn't stinking hot. They were wondering where they'd come to. But no, it has been really good. The last month has been really good down here. No, really good. I mean, I'm just doing everything I can to get on the field and play well for the Highlanders. Yeah.